Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. It's good to be back again and really back from the long 2 weeks of leave I have. And this morning we have with our Bursa Malaysia with the SmartRobie. And let's see what we have for you. And you all know, right down to the spot, we can see the big sell-off that we have in the US the last 3 days and also the continuing escalation of the Middle East conflict, which is also adding on to this market uncertainty, and we are also seeing gold prices jump up. That's why it's always good to have a bit of diversification into that. Now let's take a look at what we have this morning for you in the SmartRobie breakfast show. As you can see on the left hand side, let me just move my mouse here. You can see this big sell-off was a continuation of what we have from last week. No doubt if you switch to a 3-month chart here, or perhaps a 6-month chart, let me switch to a 3-month chart, you will see that it is a resistance around the 1430, which we will talk about this too. And of course, give me a thumbs up if you think that the show here is enjoyable for you to follow. At least you can learn some sort of education. And let's go on to our regular agenda this morning in here. Now, of course, the KLCI is still in the green pentagon, but the question is always be, how long? We have seen the other markets already turn red pentagon, which I informed last Friday on the podcast in the Telegram chat room. If you have not, do follow that one in here. The KLCI is in green pentagon and supported at 1430, but will it turn red pentagon very soon? So I do warn you, it will likely to turn red pentagon a down signal like other market too, right? Of course, some of you may need to take profit. Please do so watch your stops and also allow yourself to take some profit in there. Don't hang on too long to this market. It's likely to range bound, and for those of you who are investing in a longer term, you might want to switch on to a weekly chart to do the thing. Now, right now, the market is still undergoing a lot of volatility in here. Robie FA collection may provide some sort of support going forward in here. And don't forget, also, this coming Wednesday, a very special event that we joint venture with USmart, and we'll be talking about the stock trade idea for the 4th quarter going forward. Myself and Kevin Tan, investment analyst in here. So it will be at the 9:30. That's right, 9:30. You can watch me in the on the live Facebook in here, and also some of the USmart users will also be joining this talk in here. Now let's get on to what we have. And also Pentagon Guider, what you've seen, it's powered by powering also SmartRobie in here, giving you the up and down signal so far. All right, so let's for those of you who are members, don't forget to use the VSA 360 for the insider buy and sell guide, which will give you some sort of reference in here. And let's look at it this morning in here. The KLCI right now is supported at 1430. As I said before, this is the level that it is supporting here, but it may not be that for much long. Okay, now one of the things you can see on just top of me here, you can see on this chart here. Let me just push it up. Yep, here. That's right. It is continuing to sell off 4 points in here. And usually, if you do know with the Pentagon Guider temperament, a little bit more, you're going to get red pentagon in here. But it was good to pick it up just as the what was that? The budget 2024 a shot up in here, facing resistance just short of the 1450 in here. And no doubt, last 5 bars we have the foreign fund turn outflows, and every time when we see outflows of foreign funds, usually the market drop. But I do think that 1410 is the support that you get here. But watch out for any sign of weakness. A sell-off bar would come. It's going to be this week in here, unless we have a spring. Then the 1430 need to hold. If the 1430, which is this level here, let me just share with you here, if it does hold, then we have another leg up for the November and December. But I do think that optimistically, the November and April the rally might just come. Maybe for the Malaysian context, we won't fall that much in here. No doubt the railway track, you could see the shorter 2040 moving average is already turned downwards. So a lot of things are turning downwards. And you can see on the futures chart, support at 1430 looks very flimsy. You can see here 1, 2, and you get another one in here. It can drop then form back because the US side is actually forming a double bottom at 1410 level. If you can see both the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones. So I do think that the KLCI will fall back to this level in here. That is the support that they need to. So that's why I said that the red pentagon is likely to come out anytime, maybe today, end of this evening too. So let me just forewarn some of the members in here who is listening in here, and give me a thumbs up if we are informing you the educational content here. Do tell you what's happening in the market. Railway track has crossed down in here, and the 1410, which is this level here, must hold. Okay, the 1410 level must hold. You can see this is so-called the current support that we are, and usually you can see based on what we see with the US and the Nasdaq likelihood to fall further there, right? Testing. So this is where the market will be testing also the 200-day moving average. Okay, the 200-day moving average is the important level. It did broke, came back up, floated up there. So I want to see how much of this test, which is just broke down actually 14, the 200-day moving average. All right. Now going to the stage 2 shares, which we talked about in the last session in here. These are what we call the continuation of the market. Continuation of the uptrend is the stage 2 shares. And last round we have Econ Berhad, IOI Property. So let's take a look at them, right? And let me see that. Go to IOIPG. Remember, this was on earlier this month on the 9th of September. So let's take a look at it. IOIPG. And we go into the stock chart, stock comment here, switching to a wider chart. So you can see in the 1 month, when it first started 9th of October, it did go up higher actually. And then finally the market, like any market, it also followed the US side and started to turn back down in here. Now remember, the IOI is a property sector. Now remember, property sector has had its nice run, so this was a lot banging on into the sector growth, which is a little bit of the momentum coming in from the budget 2024. Next we have is Econ Berhad, or we type 5253. This was the stocks that we were showing at that time. So I think this morning we have a big drop. Yep, that's right. And as soon as which is the 9th October, continued to go high, and then the red pentagon. So I'm telling you, the members of the Trade VSA and so SmartRobie, whenever you see red pentagon, be warned, especially right now on the backdrop, which I've already explained to you, the KLCI is turning bearish. So a lot of these red pentagon are very valid down signal. Very down signal. You can see this continue to sell off in here. So just honor them if you in the shorter terms need to take profit. It is okay, fine, because if you look back in the last 6 years of the KLCI, we have said before, this market really not going anywhere. And even there were talks this morning as I browsed through the newspaper. One of the local so-called analysts was even recommending that to curb speculation, they want to introduce capital market tax, capital gain tax. If they do that, I think the KLCI will be dead and it will affect a lot of people just to get a little bit. And remember, not many people actually make money in the last few years. So even if they do, the small capital gain tax will really kill the entire trading activity in history, because first thing they have to come in, have to pay for capital gain tax. What would I do that? And I do hope that for the authority who is listening at this time, I do think the capital gain tax is not a very good pound. What do you think, the members who is listening in here? Give me your thoughts, give me a thumbs up in here, so I'll definitely know how you feel about the capital gain tax for smaller investor like you and me. All right, so let's take a look at this week for the so-called the 23rd of October, the stage 2 shares. First one is the FP group, right? I think FP group is the foundry group. Okay, yeah, let's look at the stock chart in here. Oh, even consumer products are coming up. So let's switch to this one in here, and you could see it has been moving a fair bit since September, and then had a nice line change, and then but this morning, as I said before, upthrust, not a very good thing. Let's take a look at the next one. Is home rates. So home rates in here, and these are all the food stuff which has started to move up in here. So it's been range bound, and we look back at the last 6 months, it's a nice uptrend from 48 cents, a small move in here. Oriental food, you can check that one. Let's do that for the last one, and the rest you can check it up on the SmartRobie app. Oriental OFI. So the Oriental is moving up nicely in here. A nice big move yesterday, continued to push up in here. I think this is also capitalizing on the rise of the inflation, able to improve their profit margin. Take a look at that one too. All right, so let's move on to next we have, and don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter. Much of it is around the news that you see on the local media in here, and something that I'll touch on with regards to the SmartRobie. So let's take a look at the Robie FA collection. And last one we talked about was on the 9th of October. Okay, IOIPG, which is actually previously in here we talk about. So on the IOIPG, which is on the 8th of October, I think 9th of October, and then the market did actually go higher, but now pull back, which is the same stock that we had on the stage 2 shares. It's been going up a nice uptrend, and for those of you who like to ride the profit, ensure that it stays above the ATR stop loss. That's this horizontal red line that you see here. If you do break below, you must recommended to exit in here, and there are times the market try to shake you out and try to get back in again. So that's something that you need to take note of. All right, this week on the 23rd of October we have Westport. Okay, Westport is the only so-called candidate that we sort of like for our Robie FA list. So let's take a look at Westport. Okay, so this is the chart. It is still in much of a downtrend. Notice the railway track, the 20 and the 40 railway track, still coming down in here, holding up at a nice base at 3 ringgit 20 cents. Now take note, some of these may not show rebound, but let's take a look at the stock fundamentals for Westport. And you do have PE of 14 times. The ROE is pretty good, 22, with a dividend of 4%, which is 11 billion market cap in here. So that's not too bad, right? So keep in mind, this is maybe a dividend play for those of you who like this. So again, SmartRobie, right? Especially those of you who's watching are the new beginners. Our Pentagon Guider enhance your chart reading skill by improving where is the up signal and the down signal denoted by the green and red Pentagon. And better more, you can set up your Pentagon alert in your SmartRobie apps in here. Make sure you use this to your advantages, because if the stock do come out, click on it and you'll be alerted of the red and green Pentagon, so you ensure that you do take evasive action in here. Of course, in the SmartRobie apps, you can see on the left hand side here, the alert was around the green, and then you also have the red in here, so highlight that. I think that will help out. And also the notifications is very important for those of you who is holding these shares in here, and it's still freebie, right, for newbie in here, so make sure you catch those. And don't forget the Friday session. Friday session will be our US SmartRobie, and this is of course, I do remind our Malaysians and also our local trader in here to diversify out into the US market. And I did cover last Friday about certain section of the US market. It is Sharia compliant, so something worthwhile to explore for our Muslim friends who looking into that, and of course for our VSA 360 members in here, the journey still continue. And tonight we'll be doing our live training at 9:30. So make sure you come in and check us out at 9:30 in here for our regular weekly training, and also post the question that you have, and we want to get soon and put you into it. And for those of you who know some of our past graduates have done pretty well in here, you could see the great result that continued to gain with a 16% of Sukumaran, Mayfern 15, and also Chu Beng Seong a 15% gain for the last 6 months in here. And also this coming Wednesday, check out our stock trade idea for fourth quarter for the US market, and also cover for a little bit on our Bursa market in here. But together our U-Smart investment analyst, Mr. Kevin Tan from Singapore, I think it's also good to look at the overall market. Now, right now for KLCI market, the support at 1430, which I've shared before, is likely to be broken on the backdrop of the Middle East conflict. Now, much of it attention will turn into what we see in the US in here, whether they are likely to hold the interest rate or likely to, raise the interest rate because of the current condition where inflation still remains to be high. We did see the CPI figure creep back up to 3.6 after holding up in just short of the 3% mark in here. Right, shorter term, our more experienced trader can use the stage 2 ST2 intraday shares in here. Market sentiment, right, still pretty bearish in here. All right. So don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can follow this on in here. And our VSA 360 as a low price, very good visual trading plan, stock alert, and a great risk to reward trading in here. And many of our great review are giving us in here. We really appreciate them. And right now, if you want me to look at any stocks, feel free to pencil in there and I'll probably give you what is the situation in. If you have any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free to put it in there. I'll be happy to look into it. If not, thank you for coming for our members. And I do know that the market is getting interesting enough that many of you may have sort of have a bearish outlook in here. But I do feel in this coming Wednesday, I'll probably update to you what I still think of the market. Of course, we have seen the next 2 days in here. And above is our Telegram chat room. So feel free to join it and share with your friends. I will see you this coming Wednesday. Thank you for coming and thank you for your support. We appreciate your time of you with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.